Earl Gallant, Township Chevrolet, shop foreman here. Another edition of Shop Talk. I'm just going to talk to you guys about with the cold weather and the winter set in about fuel mileage. We get a lot of people, including myself, that notice a decrease in fuel mileage in the winter time. Maybe just kind of give you guys some reasons and some things to consider. So maybe you don't kind of show you, maybe you don't have a, maybe your car doesn't have a problem. It just might be the conditions that you're driving in. So obviously temperature is the main cause. Tire pressure is one of the most important things for fuel mileage. Tire pressure tends to drop more in cold weather because of the temperature. So keeping your tires topped up in air pressure will help kind of combat that, but your tires will drop pressure more often in the cold weather. So that'll cause obviously more drag on the engine, which will cause the thing to be harder on fuel as well. Temperatures of your fluids. The fluids are colder, they're thicker for the transmission and the engine oil. And the differential fluid, all that stuff creates more drag because the colder fluid is thicker. That's another thing to think about. Your car is designed with the cooling system, the thermostat is designed to run at a certain temperature for the best efficiency. It takes longer for your engine to reach that temperature. So there's a longer period of time whenever your car is not running at 100% efficiency. So if you can combine some of your stops in one way to combat it. So if you got a couple of trips you need to do, start your car up, you make those 2 or 3 trips so you're not doing 2 or 3 or 4 cold starts a day. That's a way to help that as well. Obviously idle time, car starters, auto start, stuff like that, that's going to decrease your mileage drastically. Some people, you know, got a 5-10 minute drive to work and you're letting your auto start time out at 15 minutes. You've just essentially doubled the amount of fuel you'll burn on a trip to work, where in the summertime it's a 30-second start and then you're driving. So leaving your remote start run for a less amount of time will obviously help too with your fuel mileage as well. So check engine light. Maybe your car is harder on fuel. Maybe there's a reason for it. It's very common for people to drive around with a check engine light on because they were at another shop and they were told by their friend at the coffee shop that that's probably on for an evap leak or something that won't really cause any damage or cause any decrease in fuel mileage, which is very possible. Having said that, if your light's on, you don't know if something else has happened in the meantime. So let's say, for instance, you have an evap light on because if you have an evap sensor, a vent valve, or a purge valve that's bad, which, you know, won't really affect drivability, and it won't really affect fuel mileage. However, since that 6 months has gone by, you've got a O2 sensor or a mass airflow sensor that's become faulty, or a wiring issue, and now you've got another issue. There's no way for you to know unless you have a drivability concern. So if you got the light on and you notice a decrease in mileage, your tire pressures are good, you're not running your remote start, and you feel like it's a drastic difference, and maybe it's, you know, you should bring it in, have it checked out, and get it put on a scanner, and make sure there's no other code besides the one that you know about, because that's obviously the issue with having the light on, is if something else happens you don't know. So yeah, so if you guys run your car less for remote starts, less idle time, less trips, just do mostly running around in 1 or 2 trips if you can. Less cold starts, I guess, would be what I'm trying to say. Keep your air pressure topped up in your tires. Obviously 2 heated seats. We have less daylight, so you're running your headlights, all that stuff. Your heater's on full blast. That's putting a drag on your alternator, which is putting a drag on the engine, which is increasing that. So once your heated seats are up to temperature, shutting your heated seats off or turning your fan speeds down, those are obviously things that will help as well. So with those few tips, your fuel mileage is still going to decrease in the cold weather. However, with those few things, you can help combat that. So that's been another edition of Shop Talk here. Earl Gallant, shop foreman at Township Chevrolet, and we look forward to seeing you.